Hello. I would like to say welcome back to art. Let's get some cool art stuff done. So, this is what I'm going to demonstrate today is a project called BU Magnetic Form Letters with Art Material Still Life. Really basic supplies needed. You'll just need a pencil, an eraser, and whatever kind of material you want to design the background. When we did this with the sixth grade a few years ago, we did some splatter painting in the background, and I know kids really love splatter painting, and we'll talk about that later when I do the demo. But before I show you how we're going to do it, I want to show you why we're going to do it. So we're going to be thinking about a word that you want to be or that you feel like you already are. And we're going to link those letters with the word be, B-E, and then whatever word you want to add. We're going to pretend those letters are actually magnetic. So they're stuck together and they're linked. This one, it might be a little bit far away, but I'll put it on, when I do the demonstration, I'll show you closer up. Or you can see it in the slideshow. But this one says be artistic. And interwoven with the letters, you're going to pick one art material. So this one is a paintbrush. So the first reason why we're doing this is a power of intention. So this student was really focusing on artistic skills and ability, and what we can do for yours is you pick your own. What do you want to be? Is it responsible? Is it free? Is it creative? Is it inventive? You choose the word. Then what we're going to do is use letters as forms, and I'm going to demonstrate how we can interweave these letters using shading and perspective to make them look three-dimensional. So let's get started. I'm happy to see you. Okay, so here's a close-up of that first sample I was telling you about. The way we're going to do this is you're going to select an art supply. So for this one, the student chose a brush. So I'm going to start off with a brush. This is called a fan brush. You can pick any kind of brush or a pencil, whatever you want. So I have that ready. I also have a piece of white paper ready. This is just regular old copy paper. The steps are going to be doing the still life, an observational drawing of the object first. Then on top of that, to show overlapping, we're going to add the letters. So let's get going on the object. I want to show you a few more samples though before we do that. So this one says be artistic. The next one, you can see, has three objects, which are also overlapping, and the lettering the thing they have in common is it says be, and this one says free, and they're connected, and then they're also connected to the objects. And the third says be special. Same thing, this one is another paintbrush, and everything is connected. So we're pretending everything is made out of magnets. Okay, so let's get going. The first thing I'm going to do is decide how I'm going to hold my paper. I'm going to hold mine in the portrait mode. That means up and down or vertically. I'm going to look at my brush. Now, I could, because this is the right size paper, I could trace it. And you're welcome to do that. I'm going to try to draw mine from observation because it's always good practice. And I'm going to be thinking where I'm going to put my lettering. And I think it's going to be over here. I think I want the letters to go here and I want the brush to go here. So I'm going to put that to the side. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to sketch out. Remember, we always sketch it light. And this is a cool brush because the handle almost looks like a unicorn's horn. I don't know where I got this brush, but I know it wasn't that expensive. I think I got it at Five Below, but it always makes me laugh because of the handles. All right, so there's my basic sketch. Now I'm gonna go back, see how I did. About right. Now I can look at the things about this that make it cool. I have these curved lines. And then the other thing that I'm going to work on is the texture of the bristles. I'm now going to switch to time lapse so you can see how I do it, but it will take a lot less time. Okay, so now I have my drawing finished, and the last thing I'm going to do, there's two steps. One, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper, it can be newspaper, old magazine, and I'm going to make a little cover because I want to cover my drawing before I do my splatter painting. So to do the cover, the first thing I do is I estimate, get my scissors, I estimate how big my drawing is. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Just kind of seeing that looks pretty good. So basically it's going to be like making a little frame around it. And that looks like it'll do the trick. That covers my drawing. If you want to put a little piece of tape, I just took a little piece of this blue tape that comes off really easy. You can do that, or you can just be careful and hold it. I added a tiny bit of water and a tiny bit of watercolor paint in here. If you don't have watercolor paint, you can just take a dark blue or a dark color marker and dissolve it a little bit in water. And you don't want to mess up the area you're working in. So put down some paper, or you can even do this in your bathtub or something. Just don't get paint all over the walls. Anyhow, this is pretty easy and you don't want to hit it hard. So I'm just going to start by holding my brush. I'm actually using my still life object, and I'm just going to tap it gently right on the metal part, because I don't want to puddle. It depends on what kind of brush you're using, but I always start off lightly because then you can get a sense of how much you need to tap to get the splatters. Okay. Then you're going to let it dry, and when it's dry, you're going to remove your cover, which I'm just going to do it now, and you have your design. Thank you very much for doing this with me. I can't wait to see what you did.